Ever wondered why some men seem to effortlessly capture the attention of any woman they meet? It's not about looks, money, or status. It's about how they speak. High-value men have a secret weapon, and it's not what you think. Their words make women miss them, even when they're not around. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly how you can speak to a woman in a way that keeps her thinking about you long after you've said goodbye. Why pay close? 4 a.m. The power of first impressions and emotional control. Attention, because this will change the way you interact with women forever. Number 1. The power of first impressions, setting the stage for long-lasting attraction. First impressions are the bedrock of how high-value men create a sense of longing and intrigue. But here's the thing. Most men get wrong. They focus too much on trying to impress a woman right away, whether it's through physical appearance, flashy stories, or overwhelming charm. But high-value men know that the initial conversation is not about winning her over. It's about creating a subtle, lasting imprint in her mind. The real secret lies in how these men make a woman feel. During that first interaction, high-value men understand that women are far more emotionally attuned than men. They pick up on subtle cues, body language, tone of voice, and even the energy you project. Therefore, how you carry yourself even before you say a single word determines whether she'll think about you long after the conversation ends. The unspoken language of confidence isn't something you can fake. It's deeply rooted in how you view yourself and your place in the world. A high-value man walks into any situation knowing that he brings value. His posture is straight, his movements are deliberate, and his speech is calm when he speaks. He isn't trying to rush through sentences or fill the air with words. Every word he says is intentional. This unhurried pace does something powerful. It forces her to pay attention when you speak slowly and with confidence. It signals to her subconscious mind that you're in control. Confidence in speech is not about being loud or forceful. It's about being measured and purposeful. Women are naturally drawn to men who don't feel the need to prove themselves with every sentence. Silence used correctly can be one of your greatest assets. High-value men aren't afraid of pauses in conversation. When there's a moment of silence, it gives the woman time to process, reflect, and actually internalize what you've just said. It creates a vacuum that she'll want to fill, and more often than not, she'll want to continue the conversation to impress you. Emotional control is attractive. Women are hardwired to seek security and stability in men. High value. Men project emotional stability by controlling their reactions if she throws a teasing comment or a light challenge. Your way, don't react emotionally or defensively. Instead, value men know how to laugh it off, or even turn it into a playful challenge of their own. This shows her that you're not easily rattled, which is incredibly attractive. Emotional resilience signals that you can handle pressure. And this is a key trait women seek, even subconsciously, in a partner. Every conversation is an opportunity for a high-value man to show his emotional maturity. And that's what leaves a lasting impression. When you're not reactive, she'll start to 9 a.m. The mystery factor view you as someone different, someone who stands out from the crowd of men who are eager to please or quick to react defensively. You're calm, composed, and most importantly, music, confident, subtle gestures that speak volumes. High value. Men don't need grand gestures to stand out. They know that subtle actions speak louder than words. Something as small as the way you shake her hand, the calmness in your voice, or how you smile when she speaks can make a huge impact. Women are constantly reading body language, often more than men realize. High value. Men exude warmth and control through small, calculated gestures. Whether it's maintaining eye contact, nodding to show you're listening, or keeping your hands relaxed, never fidgeting. Number 2. The mystery factor. Mystery is an underappreciated art in modern dating, especially in a world where people are used to oversharing on social media. High value. Men know that revealing everything too soon takes away the excitement and intrigue from the interaction. Women are naturally drawn to things they don't fully understand. And that's exactly why being slightly mysterious works. The psychology behind this is simple. When something is unknown or partially revealed, our brain craves resolution. We obsess over the things that aren't fully clear because we want to figure them out. High value. Men use this to their advantage. From the first moment a high-value man speaks, he offers just enough information to pique her interest, but not enough to satisfy her curiosity. If she asks, "What do you do for work?" a high-value man might respond, "It's a little complicated, but I enjoy it that small." Response leaves her with more questions, which means she'll think about him later, replaying the conversation in her mind, trying to figure him out. She'll want to know more, and that's exactly what makes her miss him. Deliberate ambiguity. The key here is to be deliberate with your ambiguity. High-value men don't avoid questions to be frustrating. They use ambiguity as a way to keep the conversation going. It's about showing enough but leaving certain things unsaid. For example, if she asks about your hobbies or what you enjoy doing in your free time, instead of listing off everything, you could say, "I've been working on a project that's really exciting. I'll tell you about it sometime." This leaves her wondering what it is, and the curiosity grows. She'll look forward to the next conversation because she's eager to hear the story. Mystery isn't about being evasive, though. It's about creating a sense of depth. High-value men understand that they don't need to share every single detail about their lives to make a woman interested. In fact, the less you reveal, the more she'll fill in the blanks with her imagination. And often, her imagination will make you even more intriguing than you could ever make yourself by talking too much strategic silence. Another part of mystery is knowing when not to speak in many conversations. Silence can be uncomfortable for some, but high-value men thrive in moments of silence. They let the quiet build a bit of tension. If you're always filling in the gaps, you never give her the space to think about what she's feeling. High-value men will allow moments of quiet after delivering a particularly intriguing statement or question. These brief pauses not only make you seem confident, but also create suspense. Imagine asking her a deep or thought-provoking question, and instead of immediately following up, you let the silence linger. This silence compels her to process the conversation more deeply, creating a moment of intimacy that words can't provide. She'll remember that conversation far more vividly, because it wasn't just words exchanged, it was an emotional experience, playing the long game. Patience pays off. The thing about mystery is that it's most effective when combined with patience. You're not trying to get everything out on the table in the first few meetings. High-value men play the long game. They understand that a slow burn is often more powerful than instant attraction. By revealing just a little bit at a time, you keep her engaged over the long term. Each time she 1300 emotional impact interacts with you, she'll want to know just a bit more. And because you're not revealing everything at once, she'll continue thinking about you in between meetings, trying to figure you out. This gradual reveal builds tension and anticipation, which makes her miss you even more when you're not around. The mystery keeps her coming back, wanting to uncover more layers of who you are. Number 3. Emotional impact. Words are cheap, and anyone can string together a few sentences. What sets high-value men apart is their ability to create emotional experiences within every interaction. It's not just about what you say, it's about the emotions you evoke. High-value men understand that women are emotional creatures, and the way you make her feel during a conversation is far more important than the content of the conversation itself. High-value men don't waste time on small talk. Sure, they might engage in it briefly to warm up the conversation, but they quickly pivot into deeper, more meaningful discussions. They ask questions that cut to the core of what she values, what excites her, and what makes her unique. By doing this, they create emotional highs and lows within the conversation. This emotional roller coaster keeps her engaged and invested in the interaction, asking thought-provoking questions. One of the best ways to create an emotional experience is to ask questions that make her think and feel. High value men don't ask superficial questions like, "What's your favorite color?" or "Where do you work?" They go deeper, asking things like, "What's something you're passionate about that most people wouldn't know?" Or "What's the most exciting thing you've done in the past year?" These types of questions push the conversation beyond the surface and force her to reflect on her own emotions. By asking these types of questions, you're not only making her think about her own experiences, but you're also creating a sense of connection. She'll feel that you're genuinely interested in getting to know her on a deeper level, which is rare in today's fast-paced dating world. This emotion depth creates a bond, making her more likely to miss you when you're not around. Using storytelling to evoke emotion. High-value men also use storytelling as a tool to create emotional impact. But these aren't just any stories. They're stories that are designed to evoke specific emotions. For example, if you're trying to build a sense of adventure, you might tell her about a time you took a spontaneous trip or tried something new and exciting. If you want to evoke a sense of vulnerability, you might share a story about a personal challenge you overcame. The key here is to make the stories relatable and emotional. You want her to feel something when she listens to you speak. It's not about impressing her with your accomplishments. It's about creating an emotional connection that she'll remember long after the conversation ends, when she reflects on the interaction later. She'll think about how you made her feel, not just what you said. Creating emotional hooks. An emotional hook is a moment in the conversation that sticks with her long after it's over. These hooks can be created through a well-timed compliment, a playful tease, or even a shared laugh. High-value men know how to plant these emotional hooks throughout the conversation to ensure that she remembers them. For example, you might compliment her in a way that's unique and specific, something like I-1600. The push-pull dynamic. Love how passionate you are about insert topic. It's rare to meet someone with that kind of enthusiasm. This kind of compliment isn't just about her looks, it's about her character, which makes it much more meaningful. She'll replay that compliment in her head later, and it will remind her of the positive emotions she felt during the conversation. Number 4. The power of absence understanding. The push-pull dynamic. One of the most powerful tools that high-value men use is the push-pull dynamic. This is the art of being emotionally available in the moment, then stepping back and creating space afterward. High-value men understand that too much of anything, even attention, can dilute its impact, so after a great interaction they create distance, not because they're playing games, but because they know the value of space. In those moments of absence, a woman has the opportunity to reflect on the conversation. She starts to replay it in her mind, remembering the way he made her feel, and slowly, she begins to miss him. The key here is not to bombard her with texts or constant communication afterward. High-value men give her the space to breathe, to feel the absence of his presence. This emotional distance makes her realize that she wants more. Why over-communication kills attraction in today's world of instant messaging. It's easy to fall into the trap of constant communication, but high-value men know that over-communication can kill attraction. When you're always available, always texting, or always responding immediately, you leave no room for her to miss you. There's no mystery, no anticipation, and no emotional buildup. High-value men strike the perfect balance by not being too available. They might wait a few hours before replying to a text, or they might let a day go by before reaching out. This isn't about being rude or aloof. It's about understanding that attraction thrives in the space between interactions. When you're not constantly in her face, she has time to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're not texting her back. This uncertainty fuels her desire to see you again. The art of leaving her wanting more. When high-value men exit a conversation or interaction, they always leave her wanting more. They don't drag out the goodbye or try to keep the conversation going when it's starting to dwindle. Instead, they exit at a high point, leaving her on an emotional high. This makes her look forward to the next interaction because she didn't get everything she wanted in that moment. For example, after a great 1830, re-engaging with purpose, balanced conversation. Instead of staying until the conversation dies down, you might say, "I've got to run, but I'd love to continue this conversation another time." This not only ends the conversation on a positive note, but it also plants the seed for future interaction. She'll look forward to seeing you again, and in the meantime she'll miss you. Number 5. Re-engaging, mastering the art of timing. Re-engagement is a crucial part of the process after creating that space for her to miss you. High-value men are strategic about when and how they re-enter her life. Timing is everything. Reaching out too soon can smother the attraction, but waiting too long can cause the emotional connection to fade. High-value men strike the perfect balance by re-engaging at just the right moment when she's had time to miss them, but hasn't yet moved on. This requires a keen understanding of timing and emotional cues. High-value men know how to read a situation and judge when a woman is ready to hear from them again. They don't just send a casual WhatsApp text when they re-engage, it's with purpose. They might bring up a specific moment from the last conversation, reigniting the emotional connection that was formed. This kind of thoughtful re-engagement shows that you're not just reaching out for the sake of it. You're continuing the meaningful interaction that began before re-engaging with depth. When high-value men re-engage, they don't go back to surface-level conversations. They build on the foundation of emotional connection that was laid during the last interaction. They might reference something specific that was discussed, showing that they were genuinely listening and are invested in her thoughts and feelings. For example, if she mentioned she was working on a project, you might ask, "How's that project going? I've been thinking about what you said." This shows that you're paying attention to more than just her looks or her basic answers. You're interested in what makes her tick. This type of re-engagement strengthens the emotional bond and makes her even more likely to miss you when you're not around. It shows that you're thoughtful, considerate, and invested in 1900. Conclusion: how high-value men make her miss you badly. Her as a person, which is rare in the dating world today. High-value men aren't just looking for quick, shallow connections. They're building something deeper, and women can sense this, making them want to stay connected. Conclusion: communication is more than just words. High-value men understand how to create emotional depth, mystery, and antica in every interaction. They speak in a way that leaves a lasting impression, creating space for a woman to miss them. And when they re-engage, they do so with purpose, deepening the emotional connection. Each time, by mastering these techniques, you'll notice a shift in the way women respond to you. You'll no longer feel the need to chase or impress. Instead, women will naturally gravitate toward you, drawn by the mystery, confidence, and emotional impact you create, and most importantly, they'll miss you when you're not there, proving once again that high-value men don't chase, they attract.